Hey, it's Sarah from Sarah Lou Yoga here. This video is going to show you 3 pretty cool ways of helping you to retrain your posture and your body alignment and balance. When we work with posture, sometimes it can be really hard to untrain not so good habits simply because it's so wired into our brain patterns and the way our brain is sending messages to our muscles. So these moves, instead of working on strengthening particular muscles, work more to work in your body as a whole and helping it to get some release so that it could kind of sink and expand into a better alignment. So without further ado, let's get going. You will need your yoga mat, a book, and also a couple of yoga bricks. If you haven't got any yoga bricks, then grab some books which are a similar height. That's really important. So go and grab whatever you can get hold of, and I will see you on the mat. Okay, so I've got my book here and I've got my 2 bricks. But we are going to start on the floor to begin with. So we're going to come into lying on our backs with the feet flat on the floor and the arms by the side. Okay, this position is known as semi-supine but also as constructive rest, and the reason it's so powerful is because if we stay here for at least 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you can, it allows our body to release and move into a more optimal alignment or a better posture. Sounds too simple to be true, doesn't it? But stick with me on this one because it really does make a huge amount of difference. Okay, so all you need to do is find your feet. Okay, find your feet. Think about the mound behind the big toe, the mound behind the little toe, and the inner and outer heel. And use this position to notice the pressure between those 4 points on your feet. Do you lean in one foot more? Do you lean in one side of each foot more? Are you more into the heels or more into the toes? More onto the left side of the foot, more onto the right? And the beauty about lying down is you're in the perfect position to even up the pressure. And as you even up the pressure in your feet, it sends messages up the rest of your body to reorganize yourself or itself. And because you're lying down and you're not using your muscles because you're not standing or sitting, we're just resting. The whole body and the muscles, the tissues and the joints will naturally start to release and reposition themselves. So I'm hoping you are noticing some changes just by playing around with your feet. So it's all about getting inside and just working out what on earth is going on in your body. So as you even up the pressure in your feet, notice what happens in your pelvis. Does your back of the pelvis feel a lot more even into the floor? Or do you have to make some more adjustments to make yourself feel a little bit more level? And then as your pelvis adjusts, notice what happens in the back of your upper back, okay? That how your shoulders are connecting to the floor. Do they both feel even? Does one feel lighter, further away from the floor than the other? And then you can use your breath to help relax the body even more. So breathing, wide and full, so getting your breath down into the belly, into the ribs. So you're filling up a balloon, that beautiful wide breath is going to help you connect even better. Okay, so we kind of observed the feet, observed the pelvis, observed the backs of our shoulder blades and our mid-back. Now think about what's happening across the chest. Where are your arm bones in space? And then we can also think about what the head is doing. Does your chin feel level, or are you looking up a little or tucking your chin? Is there a point where you can realign your chin? And as you work these things out, you may come to a decision that maybe you might need something on the back of your head if your neck is not relaxing, or you're still straining. Then you might want to place a folded blanket underneath your head. So I hope you are getting a feel now for what this simple position can do for you. And the reason I ask you to hold it for 10 minutes or so is so that it gives your muscles and your tissues a chance to relax. And as they relax, they will move back into their more optimal position. So feel free to stay here. For the sake of time, I'm going to come out so that I can show you the next move. Okay, so the second move that I want to show you involves 2 bricks or your books, whatever you had to mind. Now you want to set them up so they're about the same length of your feet. All right, so that's going to determine how much gap you have between the 2 blocks. Now I've got them sideways on and on the bottom height. Once you are roughly happy with where these blocks are, you want to stand on them. So try 1 foot first and then adjust the width of the block. You want your heel on the back and you want the mounds of the big and the little toe, okay, the big and the little toe on the front. You want a gap in the middle where your arch is. Once you're happy, you can come up with the other foot. All right, and then once you are there, get used to being on the blocks. And you want to try and have as much gap between the middle as you possibly can. So I'm just going to come and adjust this a little bit because I'm a little bit the bricks are a little bit too close together. So, you know, play around with it until you are happy. And then just like we did with the movement in constructive rest, you are going to play around with your weight balance on the four corners of the feet. So that's the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and the inner and outer heel. And what the blocks are doing, because your arches are kind of in space, it starts to wake them up. It starts to wake them up. And it's the waking up of the arches which are going to help you make improvements to your alignment. So take a moment just to make circles, shift forwards and backwards, and notice where you are putting your weight. So are you putting it too much in the toe mounds, maybe in the heels, maybe the left or the right? Just notice what's happening for you and try and even it up. For me, I tend to put too much weight going forward, so I'm trying to bring my weight back into my heels now. And as you notice that, you'll feel how your stabilizing muscles naturally fire up. So as I bring my weight back a bit, I can feel my glutes engage, I can feel the backs of my legs engage, I can feel my tailbone lengthening, and I can feel my hip points lifting and my core engaging like a little mini vacuum. All right, and that's all because I've simply stacked my body in a happier place. And if you stack your body in a happier place, your core snaps into action, which is why I love posture work so much. Happy alignment means that you're working your muscles in a happy and balanced way. And if you do that, you'll naturally get stronger. So I hope you're getting the same kind of messages, that you're feeling, oh my goodness, yeah. Maybe some new actions, you know, muscles that don't tend to kick in are starting to work. You may find that in the inner legs especially, and the glutes. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then I'm going to ask you to step off and see if you can keep what you've just experienced on the block. Now that is the hard bit. It's very, very hard. But see if you can hang on to what you felt on the blocks for a little bit longer, because that is your ideal alignment and position. So if you do this little beauty every day, just for a few minutes, gradually your brain will start to make new connections on how you're standing, and then you'll find it will gradually become more and more natural. But you need to repeat it, not for a long time, but regularly. Okay, so third and final little exercise, and this is just a little bit of fun and very easy to do and very quick. Just grab a book and you're going to place it on top. I think maybe I've done the wrong hairdo for this one. You're going to place it on top of your head. Okay, once it's there, I want you to see if you can move around without losing the book. All right, you're going to keep it on your head and notice how you naturally lift through your spine, lengthening through your spine. You may have got a better connection with all those core stabilizing muscles as you move around. All right, I think you get the idea. All right, simple, isn't it? And the reason I like this is because it teaches you Axial extension, lengthening through the spine. I learnt from one particular teacher who I have a great deal of respect for, is that when we try and correct our posture, we sometimes get out of balance elsewhere because we're so fixed on standing up straight that we build a lot of tension, unnecessary tension. So another way of fixing it is to simply think about lengthening through the spine, finding axial extension, and that naturally helps to restack the curves in a better alignment. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 3 positions. You don't have to do all 3 of them. You can just play around with one and see, how it goes. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the mat again soon.